and 20,000 indirect jobs across the steel value chain. The deal signed in Abuja between the Federal Ministry of Steel Development and Stellar Steel marks one of the biggest foreign direct investment commitments in Nigeria's steel sector in nearly a decade. The new plant is expected to commence operation by mid-2026.
The Nigerian government has explained that the recent changes of service chiefs are all aimed at strengthening the security architecture to ensure that the government responds effectively to every situation. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said this while clarifying that there is a renewed focus by the Tinubu administration on addressing Nigeria's security challenges to guarantee the safety and well-being of our citizens. He dismissed claims by some foreign officials suggesting that terrorists in Nigeria target only Christians, describing such assertions as misleading and not reflective of the country's complex security realities, as well as the fact that the right to freedom of religion is enshrined in the nation's constitution. Idris stressed that Nigeria remains a highly tolerant nation with respect to freedom of religion, warning that promoting a false narrative of intolerance could inadvertently sow division between Christians and Muslims.
Meanwhile, the Senate today confirmed Chief of Defense Staff designate General Oluyole as it began the screening of the newly appointed service chiefs at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. It was confirmed barely an hour after he and his nominees arrived at the complex amid tight security. Senate President Godswill Akpabio described the screening as a constitutional duty aimed at ensuring that only the most competent and patriotic officers are entrusted with safeguarding the nation. He further explained that the exercise was part of the Senate's oversight responsibility to guarantee discipline and professionalism within the armed forces, adding that the chamber looked forward to a constructive interaction that will strengthen Nigeria's security system.
Similarly, the Senate has today confirmed Major General Wahid Shuaib as the new Chief of Army Staff, directing him to take a bow and assume office immediately. His confirmation came barely an hour after the upper chamber cleared General Oluyole as Chief of Defense Staff, marking the commencement of the screening process for President Bola Tinubu's newly appointed service chiefs. The confirmation exercise held at the National Assembly complex in Abuja took place under tight security as senators commenced a series of closed and open sessions to vet the nominees. In a show of confidence, the lawmaker representing Kogi East, Senator Issa Jubril, attested to Shuaib's competence and character, describing him as the right man for the job. The screening and subsequent confirmation of Shuaib and Oluyole signal the Senate's readiness to fast-track the confirmation process of all service chiefs appointed by President Tinubu as part of his broader efforts to rejuvenate Nigeria's security leadership.
The House of Representatives has today passed for second reading a bill seeking to amend the Money Laundering, Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 to strengthen Nigeria's anti-corruption framework and enhance asset recovery efforts. The bill was sponsored by Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, member representing Kanki Bunchkin Kenam Federal Constituency of Plateau State. The proposed legislation aims to modernize the country's anti-graft laws in response to the increasingly sophisticated methods of financial crimes. According to the lawmaker, the amendment seeks to introduce a civil recovery mechanism that would enable the government to reclaim assets linked to unexplained wealth through non-criminal proceedings. Following debate on the bill, lawmakers unanimously supported its passage for second reading when it was put to voice vote by Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, who presided over Wednesday's session.
The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has said President Bola Tinubu's administration is laying a foundation for a new generation of highways designed to last between 50 and 100 years, marking a sharp departure from Nigeria's long history of poorly constructed and short-lived roads, Umai spoke during an inspection of the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway Section 1, where he said the ministry had adopted a new approach that prioritizes durability, innovation, and cost-effectiveness over the traditional cut-and-fill method blamed for frequent road failures. In a statement signed by the ministry's Director of Press and Public Relations, Mohammed Ahmed, today, the minister said the new design stands combine recycling, mining, and concrete reinforcement to build highways capable of withstanding decades of high traffic and harsh weather. He explained that the new method involves recycling existing asphalt layers, which are stronger than fresh materials because they have been compacted by years of use.
Contractors handling various projects in Oyo State have been charged to do a good job as poor quality jobs increase public hardship, safety risk, and culminates in waste of public funds. Chairman of the Oyo State Project Performance Monitoring Agency, Engineer Muftau Open Salau, gave this charge while monitoring various projects embarked upon by Governor Shee's led administration. Staff reporter Abioya Yorindi has the details.
One of the functions of the Oyo State Project Performance Monitoring Agency is to use key performance indicators to measure performance against the project plans being executed by contractors on behalf of the Oyo State government. Chairman of the agency, Engineer Muftau Open Salau, has therefore intensified the monitoring of agribusiness initiative projects of the state government. He inspected the ongoing road network being constructed within Fashola Agribusiness Industrial Hub, one of the priority projects of the state government. He expressed satisfaction over the World Bank assisted road project, adding that the government will further improve on the work done.
The edge of the roads will be protected to enable the road to serve the intended purposes. So this is a World Bank project, and this is their standard. The only thing we can do as a state is to improve this road to serve the intended purposes and serve longer.
The contractor handling the project assured that it will be completed before the end of the year. Engineer Opus Salau also monitored rehabilitation work at Oriseda office along the Okeogun-Iseyin-Ipapo highway. Though the contractor was already on site, Engineer Opus Salau did acknowledge that the actual volume of work to be done exceeds the scope given to the contractor, hence the need to return to the drawing board to ensure an impeccable project delivery. Engineer Opus Salau also inspected an existing functional building of the Ministry of Agriculture located at the Government Secretariat at Agodi Ibadan, which is currently undergoing a facelift. Here, he emphasized the need to comply with safety standards for workers and the public by clearing the debris in the building. Two other projects at Government Technical College, Orita Akpeni, were also inspected. This included ongoing renovation of the ICT and carpentry buildings in accordance with the World Bank Technical, Vocational and Training Standard. Using a measuring tape on parts of the building, Engineer Opun Salau asked the contractor to correct discrepancies in the measurements used for parts of the ICT building as against the official plan.
70. It's 70. So it's not a perfect. And there's what I can see as I came in. It's not square. You have to take the same measurement, and if you have to have effective one. So what you have in your drawing is 900, and you have 820 there, 880 here. So the building is always like this. And where it will show more is when you put ties. You now see that you will start cutting some ties to the edge, and it's supposed to be perfect rectangular toilet. So you work on that.
Meanwhile, Governor Makinde's determination at providing a conducive atmosphere for academic learning at Ladoke Akitola University of Technology is saying it's already yielding fruit as construction work on a major building project in the institution has reached an advanced stage. Engineer Opun Salahu commended the contractor for the work done so far, which has reached the roof level.
Appreciably, the contractor has advanced to roof level. The exterior finishings, plastering and windows are in place. And the job is quite okay. And the progress is encouraging.
It will be recalled that some projects were recently monitored by the agency, and such monitoring, according to the chairman, will be intensified in order to guide all Oyo State projects to successful completion. Abioye Ayonide, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. The Oyo State Civil Service Commission has reiterated that the Commission will only honor the Public Service Examination (PSC) it conducted for civil and public servants in the state for the purpose of transfer and conversion into the mainstream state civil service, and no other examination conducted elsewhere. This was contained in a circular letter signed by the permanent secretary in the State Civil Service Commission, Mr. Goke Adenrele, on behalf of the Commission's chairman. The circular was in reaction to reports that some officers in the state civil and public service were being misled to believe that the public service examination conducted by the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, could replace the one facilitated by the State Civil Service Commission. The Oyo State Civil Service Commission therefore enjoined all accounting officers to educate officers and staff in their respective ministries, departments and agencies on their obligation to obey the subsisting directives in the Commission's and Office of the Head of Service circular letters dated 13th February 2024 and 30th September 2025 respectively.
Officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) and Oyo State Road Traffic Management Authority (OITMA) have confirmed one person dead in a ghastly accident which occurred last night at the Taki roundabout, Ogbomoso. Others, however, sustained varying degrees of injury. Our reporter Aderemi Akomu covered the accident as presented by Bimbo Akombi.
The FRSC Zonal Commander, Ogbomoso, ACC Solomon Aderemola, and the OITMA Area Commander, Ogbomoso, Mr. Gbadegeshin Ojo, confirmed the unfortunate incident in separate interviews with the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State (BCOS) after inspecting the scene of the accident. ACC Aderemola and Mr. Ojo attributed the cause of the accident to brake failure on the part of a trailer with no registration number plate, which made it to hit another trailer with registration number AYE 691XB and a Toyota Corolla with registration number KNH 853XB, which later crushed a commercial motorcyclist. During the rescue operations, OITMA towing vehicle and a trailer were used to avert traffic disruption. FRSC officials later deposited the corpse of the dead at the Lautech Teaching Hospital morgue, while the injured persons were conveyed to the same teaching hospital for medical attention. The chairman, Park Management System Ogbomoso, Prince Jimo Aderemi, and some residents of Ogbomoso who spoke with BCOS News appealed to the contractor handling the remaining part of Oyo-Ogbomoso Expressway to expedite action on the completion of the road. They added that early completion of the expressway will definitely prevent trailers plying the old Oyo-Ogbomoso road, which terminates inside the Ogbomoso township, from moving into town, and this will drastically reduce high rates of road crashes within the town.
Let's now go over to our sports studio for the latest news update from the exciting world of sports with Victor Opone.
A warm welcome to you on the sports segment of the news this evening. I am Victor Opone. We start with the news that Frenchman Nicolas Mahut delivered an emotional farewell to professional tennis after his doubles defeat at the Paris Masters. The 43-year-old won 5 Grand Slam double titles in a career spanning 25 years, but he is best known for losing the longest professional tennis match in history against American John Isner at Wimbledon in 2010. The match lasted 11 hours and 5 minutes and took place over 3 days, with the last set alone 8 hours 11 minutes being long enough to have broken the previous longest match record. Mahood beat Adeo to the sports on home soil alongside Grigor Dimitrov on Tuesday, losing 6-5, 5-7, 10-4 to Hugo Nice and Edward Roger Vaseline. Still in tennis, what number 1, Carlos Alcaraz said he had no feeling at all for the board after he was beaten 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 in his opening match at the Paris Masters by 31st ranked Briton Cameron Norrie. The 6-time Grand Slam champion has failed to win the Paris Masters in 5 attempts and now faces losing his place atop the rankings should rival Yannick Sinner win the tournament. After 3 weeks out of official competition due to an ankle injury which forced him to skip the Shanghai Masters, Alcaraz said he had come into the event in Paris in fine fettle. And just like during his Roland Garros success earlier in the season, Alcaraz hit a serious mid-match slump, but on this occasion, he was unable to dig himself out of a hole in the French capital. Now as we wrap up in football, striker Liam Delap is returning from an hamstring injury at the time of need for Chelsea. The Blues lost 2-1 to surprise package Sunderland at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, with manager Enzo Maresca blaming a lack of creativity on his side's crossing being not the best. Chelsea's forwards are struggling for goals and assists as Delap returns in the Carabao at lowly Wolves today, having missed 10 games since sustaining the injury in the 2-0 win over Fulham in August. Maresca said the 22-year-old will be phased in gradually and the summer signing's return is important for his side, facing criticism over their inconsistency, which has left the domestic clubs their most realistic chance of winning a trophy this season. And with that, it's a wrap on the sports segment of the news. Thank you very much for joining. I am Victor Pone. Over now to the main desk for the rest of the news.
On a foreign scene, the United States President Donald Trump insists that the Washington-brokered ceasefire in Gaza is holding, despite Israeli forces killing more than 100 Palestinians, including 46 children. Foreign Desk editor Folashade Akintola compiled details of this and other stories as presented by Bimbo Akombi.
In about 12 hours from Tuesday to Wednesday, Israeli attacks on Gaza killed at least 104 Palestinians and wounded 253 others, according to Gaza's Ministry of Health. One of the latest attacks hit a tent housing displaced people in Deir el-Balah in central Gaza, medical sources told the press, and other attacks targeted the northern and southern parts of the enclave. The United States President defended Israel's action on Wednesday, citing reports that a 37-year-old Israeli soldier had been killed in southern Gaza. A brief statement from the Israeli military did not specify when the soldier was killed, but said his family had been notified before the information was released. Hamas has denied responsibility for the alleged attack on Israeli forces in Rafah, southern Gaza, and said in a statement that it remained committed to the ceasefire deal. Torrential rains have triggered severe flooding in central Vietnam, killing at least 9 people and leaving 5 missing, according to authorities. The government said in a statement on Wednesday that 6 of the fatalities were in the coastal city of Da Nang and in the ancient city of Hoi An. The floods have also injured 11 people, Vietnam's Civil Defense Agency said in a report. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment said the rain caused more than 150 landslides, inundated 2,200 hectares of crops, and flooded 103,525 houses. In a separate report, the government's disaster agency said most of the inundated houses were in the tourist sites of Hue and Hoi An, which were still being lashed with rain on Wednesday. And at least 64 people died in Rio de Janeiro's most deadly police operation ever, which targeted a major gang days before the city hosted global clients related to the United Nations Climate Summit known as COP30. Police have often conducted large-scale operations against criminal groups ahead of major events in Rio, which hosted the 2016 Olympics, the 2024 G20 Summit, and the BRICS Summit in July. Next week, Rio hosts the C40 Global Summit of Mayors Tackling Climate Change and Prince William's Earthshot Prize, which will feature celebrities including pop star Kylie Minogue and 4-time Formula One world champion Sebastian Vettel. The death toll confirmed by Rio Governor Claudio Castro, which included 4 police officers, was more than twice Rio's most deadly previous police operations. Bimbo Akambi, BCOS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. The federal government has today announced the signing of a $400 million cooperation agreement with the Stellar Steel Company Limited, a Chinese-backed firm.
The Senate has today confirmed Chief of Defense Staff Designate General Oluyole has begun the screening of a newly appointed service chiefs at the National Assembly Complex in Abuja. It also confirmed Major General Wahidi Shuab as the new Chief of Army Staff, directing him to take a bow and assume office immediately.
Contractors handling various projects in Oyo State have been charged to do a good job as poor quality jobs increase public hardship, safety risk, and culminates in waste of public funds.
And on the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump insists that the Washington-brokered ceasefire in Gaza is holding, despite Israeli forces killing more than 100 Palestinians, including 46 children.
That's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was edited by Mary Adedakpo and delivered by
Adetoke Olaleye.
Afolakemi Akombi. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba edition at 8 o'clock tonight.
The city of Ibadan, the home of ancient warlords, in the Pacesetter state, this is Oluyole FM 98.5 Ibadan.
Make I ask you the last question. Among the options where I will give you, choose the one where they give better gaming experience where person no fit forget. A, to use your data they watch match early momo. B, they listen to your uncle where be your bangest sports guru. C, Betano. The correct answer now Betano. Come on, tell yourself, if you join the Pata betting platform for inside Nigeria, we get different betting options, fast cash out, missions where they engage, betting jara features, and we go welcome you with bonus of 200,000 naira. Betano, the game don't start. Bet responsibly, only for people who don't pass 18 years. Betano na proud partner of Aston Villa.
TS Charity gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣàríyá o gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣàjọ̀dún àbẹ́ni fẹ́ ṣèpàdé o gbogbo ẹni fẹ́ ṣènáwó BCOS event grand òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀ BCOS event grand òun ló kájọ ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ayẹyẹ èyí tẹ́yìn bá fẹ́ ṣe BCOS event grand òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀ o. Bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò ilé akéde bóyá wá gbé mi débẹ̀ yóò BCOS event grand. BCOS event grand débi tílẹ̀ ti tẹ́jú àyè ìgbọ́kọ̀sí ń bẹ ìyẹn pọ̀ jaburata BCOS event grand ìyẹn nílé akéde oríta Báṣọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn BCOS event grand òun ni ẹ máa bọ̀ o. Ohun tá à ń sọ ni pé onírúurú ayẹyẹ tẹ́yin bá fẹ́ ṣe ó ti wù kó fẹjú tó BCOS event grand òun ló kájú ẹ̀ òun ló káàtó ṣókùn àgbà lẹ́yìn fẹ́ ṣe ni tàbí ìgbéyàwó tàbí birthday tàbí open year crusade ó sì jẹ́ book launch ní tiyín ni ẹ máa bọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ sá ti kàn sí wa ní yàrá kẹrin commercial department BCOS ilé akéde tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sórí BCOS customer care line tololong 0915-870-3300 BCOS event grand ilé àríyá fáwọn tó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ.
ìmọ̀ràn gbàǹkọ̀gbì ni mo tún gbédé fún gbogbo òbí àti alágbàtọ́ eléyìí á dùn mọ́ yín nínú ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ara inú ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí èyí tí ọmọ wa ń gbé kiri fún ìgbà pípẹ́ láìmọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ara inú ní ìjàmbá ọjọ́ pípẹ́ tó ṣe lágọ̀ọ́ ara pàápàá jùlọ lórí ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn ọmọ iléèwé àti ìlera wọn ọmọ tó bá ní ara inú yìí irú wọn kì í ṣe sámúsámú lẹ́nu ẹ̀kọ́ àti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ irú ọmọ náà lè nira ìdí ní ìtìjọba omi tuntun ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣe ṣe ìdẹ́kun ìtànkálẹ̀ ara inú yìí láàrin àwọn ọmọ wa ní gbogbo àdúgbò pẹ̀lú iléèwé alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti girama ti ìjọba àti aládàáni fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ ọdún 5 sí 14 gbogbo ọmọ aláwọ̀ fún lóògùn ara inú yìí ní gbogbo agbègbè àti iléèwé lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ nípasẹ̀ àwọn olùkọ́ wọn àti àwọn elétò ìlera bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ ajé ọjọ́ 17 oṣù kẹwàá sí ọjọ́ ajé ọjọ́ 3 oṣù kọkànlá ọdún yìí níjọba ìbílẹ̀ 22 ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ kódà gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí yóò sì ní iléèwé ní àkókò yìí lè lọ sí iléèwé tàbí ilé ìwòsàn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ tó súnmọ́ wọn láti lọ gbóògùn ara inú yìí rí dájú pé o kópa tirẹ̀ sì rí dájú pé àwọn ọmọ rẹ jẹun yóò ní gbogbo àkókò tó fi pín ògùn ara inú yìí ìkéde ìwá láti iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń rí sí ètò ìlera nípasẹ̀ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ Evidence Action.
ọdọọdún ni bàbá kérésì BCOS mọ́ wáyé tìlù tìfọ́n láti fi máa ń kí káàbọ̀ sínú ọgbà iléeṣẹ́ wa lóríta Basọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn. Kété tí bàbá kérésì bá ti kúrò nílẹ̀ Róòmù, gbàgede iléeṣẹ́ wa BCOS ní ògùn wá sí. Torí ẹ̀ la fi ń sọ fún iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá olókoòwò kékèké, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ tajà àwọn ọmọdé, ẹ̀yin kátàkárà, tàbẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ta ohun tẹ́nu ń jẹ, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ mọ́ ń lo àkókò òpin ọdún pàtẹ láti ta onírúurú ọjà tiyín láti ṣayẹyẹ òpin ọdún fáwọn ọmọdé àtàgbàlagbà, ẹlẹ́gbẹ́jẹgbẹ́, ilé ìjọsìn, ẹ̀yin ọlọ́jà tẹ́ fẹ́ ta ohun gbogbo tẹ́nu ń jẹ, ẹ máa bọ̀ nínú ọgbà iléeṣẹ́ wa BCOS lóríta Basọ̀run nílùú Ìbàdàn láti bá wa dòwò pọ̀ pẹ̀lú owó péréte. Ẹ sì lè pe alága ìgbìmọ̀ bàbá kérésì ilé akéde lóríta Basọ̀run fọ́dún 2025 àjọpọ̀ bí ẹni yin Olódùmarè hallelujah sórí 0811 620 0150 0811 620 0150. Bàbá kérésì ilé akéde oríta Basọ̀run ti ń palẹ̀mọ́ láti gúnlẹ̀ sọ́gbà iléeṣẹ́ wa BCOS. Bó o ṣe gbọ́ máa sọ fẹ́lòmíì pé ó ti ń palẹ̀mọ́ kò ní pẹ́ dé.
ọba ló ládé orí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ ní tàwọn ìjòyè Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM. kábíyèsí o.
A man can't go no farther than a woman let him. Oh, Lord. I said a man can't get your love unless your woman let him.
It's a lovely evening.
If you go home, find a man.
The last Wednesday of the month of October 2025.
Don't blame the man. Don't blame the man. Don't blame the man. I said a man can't get your love unless you.
Sin is the summary of a foolish person, no matter what his status is.
I heard a fella say just the other day, if you go home.
So whoever you cannot change will change you. Beware of the friends you keep.
And take a fella's life.
This is the voice of the happiest man on earth, the youngest living old man in the universe, African touring master, ATM, Big Daddy Kenneth Graham, reporting for the last shift of the day.
Oh, no. I said a man.
I'm saying good evening. How was your day today?
Unless your woman let.
It was fine.
Lord.